So it looks like, you're going through a transitional stage. I know the death card didn't come out here, but I'm feeling very strongly that this is really about personal growth and maturity and development. And for me, that all symbolizes a major transition. Here we do have the Hangman, and the Hangman, along with stating a sacrifice is required and that we're waiting for something, this card also signifies needing a fresh perspective. So when we go through something that requires us to see things in a new way, that is a major transformation for a lot of us, because we go through life with maybe a firm set of beliefs or understandings or convictions, and then suddenly something happens where it makes us question those, and then it requires us to get this fresh perspective and understanding, and that is all about growth and development and maturity. So beginning of the month, you're dealing with this situation where you are needing to make a sacrifice, but also gaining fresh perspective, okay? And I feel that it is regarding something in your home, because we have the Four of Wands reversed. The Four of Wands symbolizes for me upright, and it symbolizes marriage, but it can also symbolize a celebration, and sometimes for me it can come up as home. So I feel like, again, this is something to do with your home. This can talk about, in the reverse, possibly you were dealing with an engagement, or you were engaged, and now you're breaking off that engagement because something has come up in the relationship. This can also be saying that perhaps you were expecting some news regarding your home, and that has fallen through. Perhaps a purchase of a home or a move. You're now having to wait it out, and see things from a new perspective before you can move forward. Now, underneath the Four of Wands reversed, I have the Knight of Wands reversed. And the Knight of Wands upright is a very passionate, charismatic, driven character. This is typically, for me, a fire sign, maybe a younger fire sign, someone who I would say is in maybe like their mid-20s to late 20s. But this is someone who is just very passionately driven to go in pursuit of his dreams or his goals or his ambitions. Now, in the reverse, it's saying that there's some stagnated energy regarding that. There is a sacrifice, as I said. There is a need to halt whatever plans you had. And this card in reverse is saying that what you were once passionate about and driven about, you are now having to put that on hold, having to rethink things, and perhaps let go of some things. This is also saying if it's regarding a relationship or an engagement, that perhaps the passion that was once there is no longer there, okay? This is just very, like, the chemistry isn't there anymore. Now, I feel that you are coming up as the King of Swords in this reading, upright. And this is saying that for you to properly handle this month in a way that, using the energy that is out there to for your best interest, would be to have the characteristics of this King of Swords. And the King of Swords is someone who he does not rely just on his emotions to make decisions. In fact, his emotions get put on the back burner. He is someone who really focuses on the facts, thinks in a very analytical way, weighs the pros and cons carefully, and then makes his decisions that way. For him, the world can be very black and white. This card talks about using your intellect, using your rationale, using your wisdom to make the best decisions. It's saying here, do not make decisions solely based on emotion. Because if you do that, you are really going to be hurting yourself, hindering yourself, blocking yourself from receiving what good is meant to come in for you. Now, underneath that King of Swords, the High Priestess is reversed. So this is also saying, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. You're not following your intuition. And because you're not doing that, you're going to have a situation that is going to be like the tower experience. Now, you already know what your gut is telling you, you're just not following it. So this is coming up in reverse because it's saying you already knew that this situation was going to happen, but you've been prolonging it, you've been postponing it, you've been turning your cheek to it, hoping that it will just disappear, putting it under the rug. But it's at this time, in this month, you can no longer just sweep it away. You have to deal with it. And so this card coming up in reverse is better than upright because it's saying that because you have some knowledge that this situation that it was imminent, that it was going to take place, you are going to land on your feet. Maybe you've made some preparations in case things fell through, in case things did not go the way that you expected. But nonetheless, this situation does need to happen. Now, next to the King of Swords, I have the Strength card, and that is very promising next to the King of Swords. It's saying that whatever comes your way this month, you will have the strength, you will have the determination to make it through. This can also be saying that you're dealing with a Leo or a fire sign, and this may be the person that you're having this difficulty or challenges with. But I really feel it's more inclined to being about you just having this inner strength and tenacity. This is also saying you need to keep control of your emotions. Again, don't act out in emotion. Keep them under wraps. This is a good time to, I'm getting the impression, don't lash out in anger. Don't lash out and do something that you're going to later regret, okay? Because the woman in this card, she's taming the lion. So she's taming her inner anger or frustrations or whatever it may be that is this fiery energy within her. She's taming it. So this talks about taming that within yourself. I'm also getting here, as I look at this row, taming it, but also speaking your truth. Perhaps, the High Priestess is someone she's a very wise woman, but she also keeps it under wraps. She doesn't really speak what she knows. And this month, with this being in reverse, this is saying you are going to speak your truth. You are going to speak what you know. And when you do this, it can help create, be a catalyst for this Tower card in reverse. So because maybe you have some impact on beginning the cycle of things coming to light or coming to fruition regarding this situation, that's why this Tower is coming up reversed, because it is something significant that's imminent and that's changing in your life, but you're able to land on your feet because you've maybe in some way helped initiate things coming to the surface. And here underneath the Strength card, we have the Seven of Cups reversed. This is saying, again, things that you may have been unclear about, things that you were confused about, you weren't sure how you were going to handle the situation. I feel like it's saying this month, you're going to have the clarity. You're going to know for sure. You're going to understand that where you stand in this situation, and also maybe have a better idea of how you're planning to move forward. Now, the Chariot card is the outcome card. Is beautiful because it's a card of victory. It's about this soldier who's charging into battle and he overruns his enemies. He has no fear. He has no self-doubt. He's just charging toward victory. So at the end of the month, when all is said and done, you are going to have a victory in whatever difficult circumstances you face. So you're going through this major transition this month, but in the end, you will be victorious. Now, Judgment reversed here is just saying you really need to focus on accepting and allowing this transition to take place, because Judgment upright is the card that comes after death, which is the transformation card. This is about rebirth. This is about being called into a new way of life, seeing things again from a fresh perspective. and being able to move forward in life in a more positive direction. But with this reverse, it's saying that you may be having a difficulty and challenges in letting go of what you once desired, or what you once were working towards. But it's a necessary thing, because much more better things are coming in for you. So don't be afraid to let it go. Okay? We want this card upright. And you are going to be able to do that if you move with the energy. And again, take on the characteristics of the King of Swords. Think of things in a very analytical, rational, intellectual way. Is this serving me? No, let it go. What does serve me? What will serve me? What am I truly desiring? What am I truly needing? Don't hang on to things based on emotion. That's what I'm getting, okay? So on the High Priestess reversed, again, I feel like this is secrets coming to light. This is you speaking your truth. Also following and listening to your intuition. There's some jealousy or obsessive thoughts and behaviors that have taken place. And now someone is reminiscing on their past and desiring things to be possibly what they once were. And then we have in the future attraction to a virgin, or attraction to a female. This can also be my Virgo card, because this card represents a virgin. So this can say that in relationship currently there's some oppressive, obsessive thoughts, feelings, emotions, jealousy, bitterness, anger, resentment, I feel. And someone is really, through this behavior and that they're exhibiting, it's really because they're reminiscing on their past and they're desiring things to be what they once were with an individual. This can be, again, with a with a Virgo, but this can also be with just someone that there's a strong attraction to, okay? And this truth will be revealed this month. Let's look at the Chariot card here. So, victory, okay? We have disgrazia. This is something has to take place. So, this is the Tower card in the Rider-Waite. This is a basically the fire that's taking place is bringing this house down and tumbling it to its foundations. We have the domestico, the male domestic. So this can be regarding someone that we once trusted and confided in, but this can also be like the man of the house. For me, that's what this represents. Perhaps you have desire, if you're the male, you've desired to be this in your home and you feel like that is being challenged. Or if you are female, this can say that this unfortunate event that's taking place is regarding your husband or your significant other. Whoever is in the male role in the relationship. And there is a conversation that's going to take place. Again, truth coming to light, and a charging forward out of this situation is the victory. The last card I want to look at, this card was in reverse. I'm going to look at Judgment reversed. So on Judgment reversed, a denial of transformation or trying to postpone and not wanting to work with the current energy and be reborn in a new situation. We have Mercante. This is regarding some type of an agreement. This can be, as I said earlier, if it's not regarding a relationship or a home situation, it's just regarding something that fell through, that wasn't what you expected. Perhaps you had some inclinations, but you were really hoping things wouldn't move in that direction. And now we're dealing with a contract or agreement that perhaps did not go the way you desired it to, because we have Melancholia here. This is the card of sadness, melancholy, card reflection, okay? And then we have the Prisoner. So you're feeling trapped in a situation, and I really feel like this is more regarding an emotion. You feel trapped, however, you really aren't trapped. You just need this fresh perspective. And with that fresh perspective, you will know how to move forward and obtain this victory that is here, okay?